Greetings, my name is Adrian Blanco, and welcome to Multi-Task Force. This is a PC 2D puzzle game with some platforming elements in which players will be jumping over, crawling under, and dodging past a myriad of obstacles with not one, but two characters at once, in order to stop crime and bring forth justice to evildoers. Multi-Task Force shares some gameplay similarities with Spelunky and Braid, as both of these games feature quirky and evolving puzzle platforming elements with a myriad of situations. Both of these games require the player to see their environment as a larger puzzle that they must carefully progress through if they wish to be successful. Unlike most, if not all, puzzle platformers which have the player manage a singular character, Multi-Task Force asks that the player manages two characters at once with the same exact controls. Players must complete the assigned task of each character's scenario in order to progress. In order to complete the assigned tasks, players must manage both characters and guide them through their individual stages at the same time. Whatever input the player sends, both characters will react to it. Essentially, if the player presses the jump button, both characters will jump. If the player presses the move left button, both characters will move left. Both characters will have the ability to jump, crouch, dash, and shoot in order to complete their tasks. Each character will have a unique stage with different layouts, hazards, and puzzles. Besides movement, both characters will be equipped with guns. These guns can either shoot water, which is used to put out fires, or beanbags, which can push back enemies or press out of reach switches. Players must coordinate their movements with the characters, as what could lead to progression with one character could lead to harm for the other. Furthermore, players must use some puzzle-solving abilities in order to complete levels due to the fact that interacting with something in one character's scenario can sometimes affect what happens in the other. For example, Character 1 could be faced with a situation in which they either take a difficult path or an easy path that increases the chance of them stepping on a pressure plate that would release mutants in Character 2's scenario. This would make traversing the level harder for Character 2, but easier for Character 1. Players will have to plan out their paths carefully, or they risk endangering one if not both of the characters. While the visual theming of the game can vary from stopping a mad scientist to an evil terrorist, the objectives will remain the same. One character must reach the end of their level to deactivate a device, while the other must navigate their level to arrest an evildoer. All levels must be completed within their allotted time limit. Additionally, each level will feature a stray animal to rescue. These serve as a form of collectible that grant the player a bonus in points and add to the decreasing time limit. Levels will retain the same goals, but will become more complex and challenging as the player progresses through them. Hazards will vary depending on the context of the goal and scenario. These include bear traps, pits of acid, both of which must be jumped over, spring pads that launch the player away from them upon contact, fires, and security turrets which rely on line of sight. These hazards pose a threat to the characters, but can also be used in their favor. Some examples of this include players being able to lead or push the mutants into traps with the beanbag ammo in order to defeat them, or players using their spring pads to help them make jumps they would not be able to make on their own. The greatest risk of Multi-Task Force are the puzzle balancing of the game and the introduction of new hazards to players. The multitasking element of the game is a driving force behind it, but it should not become frustrating for the player. The levels presented to the player need to strike the perfect balance of difficulty and accessibility in order for the player to feel challenged but not overwhelmed with what is asked of them. Proper testing of the difficulty and lengths of levels should be more than enough to mitigate this risk. As far as hazards go, there will be a plentiful amount of them. If not explained properly, players might become frustrated from being harmed by something they did not fully understand. However, introducing new hazards in isolation or easing players into them should give players enough room to acclimate to them and understand what challenges or benefits they present. No matter the crime or the amount of them, the Multi-Task Force can handle any scenario, as long as they have a little bit of your help. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.